quick. Kiss me quick. Kiss me quick and hold me tight.
I got a dog named Zach, and he's midnight black. And I also got a mailman called Mr. Mac. Now my dog Zach.
Geez, you guys think I'd never streamed before? Like I'm an amateur or something. I don't know what buttons to press. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I see... Hello, everybody. I see Jade River coming at us from the future. Jade says it's Wednesday at 8:09. That's the future, Jade. It's the future where you are. That's awesome. Jade River talking to us from the future. And I see Adama. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Scott H. Hello. And I see way back about an hour ago, Danny was in here. Says, I love Fallout 4. Well, Danny, if you're still here, glad you could make it. I don't know if you're still here or not, but glad you stopped by all the same. So, hello, kids. I have no idea why I'm even streaming tonight. I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. I just felt like streaming. Hey, TC Games with a good old blue wrench. Hello. I know, what the heck. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I just felt like pressing the stream button. So here we are. Ty Sawyer, hello. Thank you for stopping in. Don't expect a whole lot of excitement tonight, guys. I probably shouldn't even stream. My mind is not in stream mode right now. I started playing around with this mod a couple nights ago and really wanted to get back into working on it tonight. And I thought, you know, I might just stream it. I don't know how much work I'll actually get done. I do have to work in the morning, so no coffee, no Red Bull, nothing with caffeine in it. So it's probably going to be pretty low key, and I may be struggling for the words. I can't really English tonight too well, apparently. But yeah, we are here. This, in case you can't recognize it, is the Prydwen quarters cell. The Prydwen quarters that you get part of the Brotherhood of Steel quest line in Fallout 4. I believe the end of Blind Betrayal. You get promoted to Paladin. You get promoted to Sentinel. Did you get promoted to Sentinel then? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done that. The end of Blind Betrayal, you basically get Dance's quarters. And I took a look at that the other night and forgotten how god-awful it was. It's horrid. It's so horrid, in fact, I think that's how we're going to start the stream. Let's go up. Before we get too crazy, show you guys what I've been doing with this so far. Let's jump into the game, and we'll go take a look at the vanilla Prydwen quarters. And I'll give you guys a quick rundown of what I've done so far. Paladin, thanks, Adama. It's Sentinel you get at the end of the entire Brotherhood questline, but yeah, after Blind Betrayal, you get Paladin, because Paladin Dance isn't Paladin anymore. You basically get his digs, and they kind of suck. So I'm gonna change that. I really have been wanting to do a quick little mod like this for a while, and I just kind of want to ease back into doing some creation kit work because it's been a few months, and I've forgotten so much. I've forgotten what keys do what, and yeah, all that stuff. So before we get too crazy with the cheese whiz here, let's jump into the game. We'll take a quick look at the vanilla cell, so get a quick reminder of how god awful it is, and then we'll come back and do some stuff. So let me just figure out what buttons I gotta press here. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Yeah, see, I told you, I don't even know what I'm doing here tonight. I probably shouldn't have even streamed. Colin says, attempted to dislike the video before it even starts just because he can. You're probably pissed that that Office Max truck with all the pads and the pens hasn't shown up yet. I've been told that the shipment's still on the way, so. Alright. So, yeah, now I can, tra-la-la-la-la. Alright, COEC. It's, all 03. Nope. Might help if I... There we go. Kind of hard to see what I'm typing with the microphone in the way. Alright, so this is the luxurious Prydwen quarters. The vanilla ones. And as you can see, they kind of suck. This is the kind of cell that you give to an intern on a Friday afternoon when they got nothing better to do. This is pretty lame. Hard to believe that a paladin of the Brotherhood of Steel was in this place. Of course, compare this to Maxon's quarters. It's not that much of a step up or down. It's pretty much the same. So this is it, and believe it or not, they actually did generate pre-combines for this cell, which I've already broken, but I will be regenerating them. There's not a whole lot in here, so I don't know why they bothered. There's 90 references that they that are part of the pre-combines. There's only 6 pre-combined meshes that comprise 90 references. So essentially what I've done is get rid of this wall section. Actually, I mostly got rid of all of this back wall and extended it out. And we're going to expand on that a little bit. Now the interior will be a little bit bigger than it actually... Look, if you're out on the main deck, you can kind of see where this cell would fit in. But, you know, it's like the TARDIS. It's a little bit bigger on the inside. No, the pre-combines, no, they will be saved. They will be saved. I'm going to regenerate them. But in order to do anything, you got to break them. So, yep. So this is pretty crappy vanilla Prydwen quarters. So let's quit out of the game. We'll hop back into the CK and just do some poking around. TC says, try living in a Navy ship. This ain't bad. I don't doubt it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot here. So, alright, so let's quit out of the game. Let's get the desktop back on. Audio should still be on. Get a little music going. And I just want to jump in and turn the mod back on so we can go test it out later. This is a 5-star. So this is going to be a 5-star compared to that. And pretty much all I've done so far. I mean, this is still the entrance. Get the entrance here. I did put a divider here. So there's basically like a little hallway entrance. I've already got chem station here. This is an armor station and a weapon station. Knocked out this wall and extended this back. So this is basically where the power armor station is going to be. And I'm thinking I'm going to put a couple of the, what do you call them? The armor display mannequins from Contraptions DLC. Those can go there. I'll probably put some sort of weapons display here. I think, maybe. And I had to make room for the animation for the to get in and out of the power armor. So it's a little tight when you get in and out with the camera, but it just works. Hey, hentai girl, how the hell are you? Glad you can make it. This probably won't be a very long stream, guys. Like I said, I gotta work in the morning, and I didn't really have a game plan. I just felt like pressing the stream button. And don't forget a tool chest. Yeah, I'm probably gonna put a tool chest back in this corner over here, but it's probably gonna be a little tight getting in and out of there. So I am gonna put one someplace. I do have to figure out where the weapons cabinet's gonna go though, because I gotta put one of those in. And I actually have a door here, but let's get disable this light because the collision on those always gets in the way. So disable that door. This is going to be a bathroom and shower area. So it is going to be a little bit bigger. It'll be like a sink and a toilet, and then the shower here with the script that'll give you the charisma boost like I've been doing. And I figure the bed's probably going to be over here. And I'm thinking the kitchen area, basically just a cabinet, a countertop with a sink, stove, and a fridge. Probably this corner over here. That leaves, I want to put a desk with a terminal, some bookcases. So yep, there's a little bit of work I want to do on this. Hentai Girl says, Eleanor's quarters nice, but able to exit the power armor on the workbench. You need to teleport using the... Yeah, I was looking at... there's a couple Prydwen Overhaul mods on the Nexus, and I was looking at those. But I just wanted to do my own. I just felt like making a small little mod. Of course, I say small. It'll probably take me 3 or 4 months to get this done. I just wasn't... I thought about using Ellie's, and there's another one on there, and they kind of do some cool stuff, but I didn't want to, I don't know. I just want to do my own thing. Now, these workbenches, like the power armor station and the chem station and the armor and weapons, I've already got those linked. Those are going to be linked to the Boston Airport workshop. So you guys all know that I love using salvage beacons, so when I get this, I will be able to have my salvage teams send the shit over to the Boston Airport, and I'll be able to access it here. Oh yeah, I gotta have a place for the trash compactor too. I don't know where all this stuff's gonna go yet. It's kind of I must extend the space of the room. Did that Hentai Girl. This whole the vanilla wall was like basically right across here, and I knocked that all out, pushed this all back. It's basically all of this is extended out. It's a little bit bigger than it would actually fit into the ship, but I figured, one block isn't too bad. And let's see. And that's it. So I really didn't have a game plan tonight. I just kind of wanted to poke around the cell a little bit. Jade says, would you be interested in making a couple similar mods for Fallout 3? I would love to make mods for Fallout 3. I just don't have time, Jade. And I'd have to relearn, like I just said a few minutes ago, I have to relearn the GEC. And it's way different than the Creation Kit. There's a lot of it's the same, similar. I mean, a lot of the way you look for things are different, but there's some quirks to it that I'd have to get accustomed to. And it's a lot clunkier than the Fallout 4 one. And I wouldn't be able to do any scripting because I just don't have the time or motivation to learn the scripting for Fallout 3, so I don't see me doing any Fallout 3 mods as much as I'd like to. I'd like to do some New Vegas stuff, but it's a matter of time. I gotta limit my I gotta get my priorities, and those are Fallout 3 and New Vegas mods are pretty much at the bottom of the list. Will you put usable toilets and showers in them? Nah, I'm not really big into the toilet. I mean, I'm gonna use a shower, but I really don't get people's fascination with workable toilets in video games. Sorry. I mean, the toilet I have, you'll be able to sit on it, and the shower will give you have running water with a charisma boost. But beyond that, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the dirt people want this thing with. I don't understand the fascination with the dirty mod. Sorry. Some people want that. I'm just not one of them. I don't really care. My immersion doesn't go that far. Toilet mesh I'm using is by, I think it's Bruce142 is the mod author I've used in the past several mods I put out. It has an animated toilet seat. That's all the toilet immersion you're going to get from me. Shower is probably going to go like right in this space here. What do I have on that's getting in the way? Yep, it's going to go into the space right here, and I'm thinking the head, CTC, I know the proper naval term for the toilet. The head is going to go probably in here. It's going to be a tight fit, unless I can figure out a better place to put it, but the head is going to go right in there. That's Carbon Knight. Hello. Welcome. So I guess, rather than just kind of pushing stuff around, the one thing I want to do, one thing I plan on not trying to mess around with too much is the vanilla nav meshing. Right now, I haven't touched it, and I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to mod it. I'm going to add to it, but I'm just going to kind of shift stuff around. But I'm not going to be deleting any of it because I don't. Number one, it's not a good idea to just delete vanilla nav mesh. And even though a little cell like this it's not going to cause any problems. Exit it'll throw errors, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. So, and there's really no reason for me to. I can, excuse me. I'm going to work with what's here. And then for this, where I put this divider, I am going to put a nav cut. And that's the other reason I don't like using vanilla nav mesh or messing around with the vanilla nav meshes too much, because it especially if like an exterior cell, causes all kind of problems. And there's these wonderful little thing called nav cuts, which are basically a collision cube that you can assign a value to it. It's called a nav cut, and it kind of does what it does. It kind of does what it says, just what it says on the tin. A nav cut will more or less tell the game that the area of nav mesh that you cover it with doesn't exist, so an NPC won't walk there. And the first thing I want to do is, I'll turn my markers on here so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to select this hunk of wall here. I'll go over this wall stuff in a second here. Come up to the little collision cube box, click that. So now I've just added this collision cube to that wall section. Essentially what this is it's basically collision. If there was nothing here, if I had just dumped this in the middle of the room, you get into the game and it would be like a like an invisible wall. So collision cube is a pretty handy little thing. So I'm just going to leave that there. We want to make sure that it covers everything. I don't want to get it too, because I might want to put like a little lean marker there. Carbonite says, you can make quarters fast travel point. You betcha. Yep. When you walk in the first time, there'll be a trigger right here that'll activate a fast travel marker, so you won't have to go through, what is it, 2 or 3 load screens? Yeah, you'll be able to fast travel right into the cell. But you're going to have to do the blind betrayal first. I mean, I'm not going to change any of that. You still have to do blind betrayal to get into it. I'm not touching any of that. I'm not touching anything outside of the cell. Nothing in the Prydwen. I contemplated linking those exterior workbenches, like on the main deck, to the Boston workstation. But I know there's already mods that do that. There's several Prydwen Overhaul mods, and I don't want to conflict with those, and I don't really care. The Prydwen to me is fine the way it is for the amount of time you spend there initially. So I'm not going to mess with anything outside of the cell. This is going to be it. But yep, there will be a fast travel marker. There'll be a trigger box right here that when you enter it for the first time, it'll activate the map marker, and then you'll be able to fast travel after that. Let's see. So what we're going to do, right now all this is just a box that if there was nothing here, you wouldn't be able to walk into it. I actually want to make this a little bit thinner here. That should be good. So if you open up the reference window to it, you come into the primitive tab, this collision layer, you select nav cut, and that basically defines it. So now, turn the nav mesh back on. Now when there's an NPC in this cell, when they load in, the game is going to tell them that there's no nav mesh where that collision marker is. And hopefully, Piper or Dogmeat won't try and walk through the wall. They'll walk around it. I find it's a good way to work around messing around, deleting vanilla nav mesh, because like I said, I don't like deleting anything. I don't like deleting anything vanilla. In fact, all the vanilla walls, everything that was in the cell before I started, I've put on their own layer. And these are all the vanilla walls that were up there. I've just set them to initially disabled. Dropped them down, the little bits of clutter that were there. I got rid of those. So those are still going to be there. And all the tool chest, the desk, all those are on another layer. I've just set all this stuff to initially disabled. And eventually, I'm going to figure out if I'm going to keep the desk. Any of this stuff that I'm not going to use, like I don't think I'm going to use these cafe counters. They just look a little too institute to me. Those will probably moved down below, but they'll stay disabled. But I put them on their own layer that I can hide, turn on and off, so that I can work around them. Hello, Joel Flake. Yep, deleting vanilla records is a bad thing. And unfortunately, it wasn't something that I learned until I had first couple of mods out, and I learned about that, and it was a scramble to learn how to do the undelete and disable function in Xedit is a real ass saver. Good to see you, Joel. Thanks for stopping in. Just kind of rambling around, and I'm gonna do a small mod that overhauls the Prydwen. And we're just kind of poking around it because I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. I just felt like hitting the stream button. TC, yes, TC. Do you have a question? I see you waving your hand there. Deleting vanilla Navmesh is it's just bad. You don't want to do it. If you look, if I were to delete one of these triangles for a cell like this, it's not going to be. I don't think it would be bad. It's just not a good practice. Like if I went and just deleted this stuff here, if you ran a check for errors in Xedit, it would throw up a flag, and it would tell you, "Yep, you've deleted Navmesh." There are ways you can fix it. There's actually GenCave has a tutorial on working around it. She has some really good tutorials if you haven't checked out GenCave's channel yet, but does a really good one on Navmesh that I recommend checking out. I just prefer not to mess with it. Like I said, I'm just going to add to what's here and use the nav cuts to kind of work around what I don't want, like that wall section there. So this wall section, the problem with the Brotherhood of Steel cells, the Prydwen, is the kit for it kind of sucks. There's not a whole lot to it. You've got these wall sections here, which, let me hide these. Yeah, hide the, I covered these up here. The Prydwen cells, let's see, interior cell is probably okay. There's a whole remember to generate issue. Before makes stranger amount of change than drastic. Yeah, my big thing is I don't want to do anything like that in exterior cells because that's where it gets dicey. I especially don't like messing around with nav mesh in exteriors. That's why I started using nav cuts. It's just even just moving something, just moving a triangle a little bit, things get wonky, and I would just rather not. Plus, I don't want to conflict with anything else. So, interior cell like this, it's not such a big deal. It's just a habit. I feel a lot safer not messing with that stuff. But I'll show you what I mean with the Prydwen kit here. There's not a whole lot. The small, only one nav mesh in a cell. Mod conflict somewhere. Is that modify the cell? Yep, you got it. So that's why I much prefer just to use a nav cut. They work fine. Every mod I've used a nav cut in, and the NPCs will path through. They know where they are. So to me it's just a lot safer. This is pretty much the only let me pop this bring my preview in here. There's not a whole lot that's really usable in the Prydwen kit. You've got the wall sections, hallway sections. You've only got a couple of room sections. There's nothing with just a wall. All the walls are like these angled bits. And let's see, a room end, a room corner, these supports, and where was the other wall that I wanted? Oh, there's like basically one doorway. That's it. You get the one doorway, entranceway, and where is the one with the wall section that I want to show you? Nope. That's the hallway. Oh, no, it's the hallway. Room wall. This is it. It's a wall, ceiling, and a floor. You don't get anything with just a wall. And that's pretty much it. Your options are really, really limited. Okay, I don't want to cover up the chat with that window. So what I've done, something I've done in pretty much all my mods where I'm trying to recreate the old school bunker feel, is I've taken some of the other parts of the building objects and just put a material swap on them that uses the Prydwen textures. So like these pillars are actually concrete. You turn off the material swap, and it's just a concrete piece. This wall is actually one of the high-tech wall kits. Turn off that material swap. So what I've done is I made a material swap that I'll put these back on here so I don't forget. It basically tells the piece, okay, anytime you find, and basically tells it to stop using the original textures and use the other material set. So by using the Prydwen textures, everything kind of blends in. I get a little bit more variety, because there's like basically no way for me to do this little divider section with the vanilla Prydwen parts. Those parts just don't exist. And that's how I was able to add these other wall sections here. Now this back wall is actually part of the Prydwen kit. There's like this, what do they call it, a platform wall. It's what you see in, oh, that's not the one. It's what you see in the, like in the loading bay, the main, that's all the upper level of the main, I'll call it the main deck. And I think there's some of them down at the airport, that little fortification they have. There's some pretty cool parts. The textures on them are pretty nice. You should add another explosive gas tank in the room. Oh yeah, that's going to be part of the cooking system. It's going to be a gas stove with a big old gas tank next to it. And lots of ashtrays. Carbonite says, are you going to use assets from decoration mods? Not sure what you mean by decoration mods. Pretty much going to use all my own assets for this. There's a few things I might use from the Creative Clutter Modders resource, but anything else is probably going to be stuff I've already used in my other mods. I'm not sure what you mean by decoration mods. Sorry. So yep, that's pretty much where we are. I'm going to be making a few more wall sections at some point. I'm debating if I want to put another divider here. I think the bed should be a flash fryer. Oh, well, you know, a fish fryer would be good because, you know, they're right over the water by the airport. There's all those Mirelurks that are just outside the base. And I hear Mirelurk fries up pretty good, so I think maybe a deep fryer hooked up to that gas tank might be kind of cool. Why won't this go? All right, so what I was thinking is I want to have like a cooking area over here, and I want to put a bed for dog meat. Like settlement mods, things like, well, there's a difference between Creative Clutter and Creative Clutter Modders Resource. This isn't going to be a workshop mod. I don't do workshop mods. I hate the workshop. I hate settlement building. Creative Clutter though has a modders as if you're a mod maker and you go to the modders resources and tutorial section of the Nexus. Creative Clutter has this really awesome set of some of the assets that they made available for mod users, and I use a lot of their stuff. There's Demanding and Ms. Ray and all the other Creative Clutter team. They've made a whole bunch of that stuff available, and some of the things like there's a there's a basket with a roll of toilet paper, and there's some cleaning supplies in a crate, that kind of stuff. I'll use that because it's a lot quicker and easier than making. I have a lot of that stuff in my own, but I like using that just for some variety, because it gets kind of samey seeing the same assets in the same mods over and over. So but if you're asking about workshop mods, nope, won't be doing that stuff. Ghouls in the airport too. You could hire the guy from Lolnet Lukowski's as a personal chef. Now damn it, that's a good idea. I like that. Because there's ghouls in the airport before the Brotherhood even shows up too, which is kind of fun. If you guys have never been to the airport before the Brotherhood shows up, you should try that out sometime. All right, so I think the only things I want to get to right now is I want to add. I'm going to put a couple of the, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't have contraptions. Yeah, okay, I did add contraptions as the master. I'm going to put a couple of the mannequins, the armor displays. Now, if you ever get playing around in the CK, and this kind of goes back to Skyrim, if you guys have ever noticed that the mannequins in Skyrim kind of move, which is really freaking creepy. I experienced that myself for the first time recently. They're actually actors. They're actually NPCs. They are in the actor section. And if you come into the actors, filter DLC 05, which is the contraptions workshop, there they are. There are your armor mannequins. Right in the actor section with all the other NPCs in the game. If you take off that filter, every other NPC in the game is here, including turrets. You may not realize that turrets are NPCs, or considered actors. Which is one of the reasons that when you have a lot of turrets in your settlement, you get lag and whatnot, because they're all actors. They have their own AI package, they have their own factions. So you come into this as a level turret tripod gunner. They got their own AI packages. They are actor records, so technically they're NPCs. That's why they act so badly. Wah, wah. These are the jokes, folks. Thanks. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. Enjoy the halibut. Let's see. So, I think what we're going to do, I'm just going to drop a couple in here for now. It's placeholders. I think 2 is probably enough. Maybe 1 in each section here. And I will do the scripty thing where you have a terminal. And it'll flip them back and forth between male and female. I think it's probably a good spot right there. I don't think you need more than 2. I'll probably come up with a little platform or something. Actually, let's see what I can use for a platform here temporarily. The machine kit parts are something that's kind of cool to play around with for little platforms and things. If you go static, filter for the machine kit. Yeah, I've never... They must have done something with the... Because these are essentially the same thing as far as I can tell. They don't really have much of an AI... Yeah, see turret standing, combat style. So, here's trivia. The mannequins, their aggression is unaggressive, the confidence is foolhardy, and assistance helps nobody. There's this checkbox here for is ghost, and they don't bleed. But they're not set to invulnerable. And I actually had somebody post a comment in one of my mods saying that, yeah, I did the kill all command and now the mannequins are on the floor. What can I do? I'm like, well, reload the save before you did the kill all command. Because they're actors. He killed the mannequins, basically. But yeah, I had the mannequins, at the house in Markarth. And the freaking thing was moving. It was creepy as hell. So we're just going to leave those there for now. And then what I wanted to do was see about... I got to put... I'm just kind of fleshing out the cell. What I usually do is all the things that I want to put into a cell, I'll just bring them in. And then I'll just kind of play around and figure out how they're going to fit in. Now, I wanted to have some of the gun racks from contraptions. There's a resurrect command, yes, but it's a hit or miss. It doesn't always work, and I don't know how it's going to work on... Definitely don't know how it would work on mannequins. People say, oh yeah, just use resurrect. You can, but the way I put it is every time I've tried resurrect on an NPC, it's been like Pet Cemetery. They come back to life, they're just not quite the same. I did that with, what's her name? Deidre there at the slog, the ghoul that always tends to get killed. Every time you get an attack at the slog, she must be scripted to get killed. Resurrected Deidre, and you can't talk to her. A lot of times their AI packages get broken, and you're just better resaving. Joel says the bug is still in the game. Skyrim mannequins did that. No, that's what I was talking about, Joel. I haven't had. If you're talking about them coming alive and moving, I have never had that happen in Fallout 4. I had it happen in Skyrim recently, my first time, and it was creepy as hell. But I don't think that they must have fixed it for Fallout 4 because I've never seen them do it. But apparently, you can kill them. And there is a thing with these too. That occasionally the first time you load into a cell, they're just not there. And I've never had it happen, but I've seen people that have done videos of my, review mods of review videos of my mods. They've had it happen. People have complained of other mods that use them have had it happen. I've never had it happen, so I don't know if it's a load order thing or what the deal. But they're just vanilla mannequins. I just dragged it out and put it in. So that's why I always put a message like, if it happens to you the first time in the cell, just reload the save. You have to reload the save before going in. There's really no other way to fix it. Apparently, it's a vanilla bug. It just works. So the other thing I wanted to do next is I'm gonna put a rack over here and see. Things with this power armor furniture is a lot of times you're selecting over here and it still wants to be selected. So to hide something, you just select it, hit the 1 key twice, and it's still there. Alt 1 will bring it back. Let's just hide that because I'm selecting over here and it still wants to select it. So I want to put a bunch of the contraptions racks over here. But I have this nifty little shelf thing that I did a while back that I want to put, it's not that. Just looking for one of my meshes here. Oh, this isn't it. Nope. I do need to bring that in now. So I guess kind of the first thing I usually do is I'll just go through, figure out what assets I want to bring into a cell, and then I'll start bringing them in and trying to figure out where they're going to go. Let's see. Maybe I need to look for this one. Nope. Alright, I guess we'll have to do it the hard way. Is this the one? Weapon rack shells. Maybe this is it. That's not the one. That's the horizontal ones. I should have done this ahead of time. There it is. That's the one we're going to use. So these are just a couple of the Diamond City I-beam sections and some of the shelf pieces. Put these together in Outfit Studio. And then grab the collision off of something else. I don't remember what. So I'm going to grab those. And adding one of your custom meshes to the CK is as easily as, especially if it's a static mesh, you want to make sure you have static selected. Just dragging it on in. Bam. Done. It's now part of your game. Now part of your mod. And let's drag it on this layer. Let's see. Fallout 76 has a handful of players left. The ad copy will be changed to no players left, so the only people you run into the game are going to be busted mannequins. I hear there's a lot of people playing it. Of course, there's millions of people playing it apparently. Let's see. All right, so let's drag this in. And that fits, that fits perfectly there. That fits perfectly. So I will be going and adding the, oh god, yeah, that meshes up with the ceiling. Oh, it's a little bit, okay, it doesn't match perfectly. It was a little bit of a gap on the floor. So what I'll probably end up doing is putting something across the top, some sort of beam or something across the top for that. I can move that right back there. But that fits pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. I don't know where the weapons container is going to go, but we'll figure that out eventually. Now that makes me think maybe I got to move the mannequins. Maybe I should put my lockers over here for the weapons, but that's why you bring stuff in and just move it around. So let's see. Let's find our contraptions weapon racks here. I think those were in containers. I feel like I haven't looked for any of this stuff in ages. It's really been a long time since I've done any of this this modding thing. Let's see. Millions of accounts that have run out of non-existent subscription time, maybe. Or duplicate accounts. I wonder if that millions counts the people that they banned. For that, finding that secret room that shouldn't have been in a multiplayer game. The COC, the QA smoke cell that shouldn't have been in a multiplayer game. Let's see. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think millions of people claimed maybe due to millions of people that log in sometimes, or millions of people who haven't yet uninstalled. Yeah, that's you don't know what their metric is. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's okay, millions of people, but how are you getting that number? And they haven't said. So who knows? I'm not one of the millions, though. I'll tell you that. The more I see about that game, the more I just shake my head. So I'm going to put a material swap on these. We might actually be able to do that tonight, too. So I think for now, I'll drop these in. So I think, seeing how this is a Brotherhood cell, I'm going to put mostly the long ones for the rifles. And then this less center one here, plus this will be kind of symmetrical. We'll put 2 for the rifles. I'll probably will change this out at least a dozen times before it's actually done. So what you see here may not be the final result. Disclaimer. Legal disclaimer. We'll put 2 pistols in here. Joel says, I uninstalled, I stayed objective for all the 24 hours of playtime the week it came out. That's all I could stand. I don't think you're alone. I mean, I refuse to buy it. When it comes out on Steam, this is my thought. Since it's supposedly going to be coming out on Steam, I'll believe it when it shows up. If it's less than $20, and if I can get the refund, I think the Steam refund policy is if you have 2 hours or less of game time, you'll get the refund. If it's less than 20 hours and that 2-hour rule applies, I'll get it. I'll kick around in it for about an hour and 50 minutes, and that'll be it. Just to say I played it. But otherwise, absolutely not. Not going there. Alright, so those are good for now. I mean, this stuff is all just going to be placeholders at this point. Carbonite says, I stayed objective until I got a headache from 40 minutes of gameplay. That seems to be the thing. I mean, it's one of those things that it seems like you either really like it or you just got bored of it really fast. And the people that a lot of the YouTubers and streamers that I like, the ones that I follow the most, that, I watch them because I like their gameplay style, those are the ones that say that they can't stand playing it, that there's nothing there. And, better them than me. I'll let them be the early adopters. Alright, so I think what we'll do, since we have these in place, that actually fits there pretty nicely. I like how that looks. Make a save. Well, let's go make a material swap for these. I already have the textures and the material set up. I just can't remember what the hell the material is. For this, we have to go look at the mesh. DLC Weapon Rack 01. Let's see if we can find it. The hype train only sustained itself because of the younger crowd that never fought a dragon in Sky. Yeah, exactly. And they never played a Fallout game before, probably, either. I really don't think that the game was marketed for the Fallout crowd. Alright, so what am I looking for? I am looking for material swaps. Let's go show you guys how to make a material swap. And it'll take me 10 times longer to find the things I need to find than actually do it. Alright, so material swaps, like I said earlier, let me clear out my filter here. They are basically, you find them all over the game. You have a mesh, and you notice it like on these. Let's go back to the high-tech wall here for a second. Let's take off my material swap. This is the. Whoop, I didn't actually take it off. This is the vanilla, off the shelf, the high-tech small room wall 01. This is the happy little static mesh that it is. It's just a wall. And this is the vanilla, the base texture. Now, if you come into, open up the reference window, come into the extras tab, they come with all these different material swaps already part of the game. And if you've been into places like Green Tech Genetics, the Institute, they're all using the same mesh, but they just have a different texture set applied to them. And these are nice because the way Fallout 4 reads the textures, they're part of a material file, which is tied to the textures. In order to change the textures, you would have to have a different mesh with a different material file attached to it. This way, you can basically use one mesh and just change the material on it with a swap. You can do it on the fly. You can do it for a whole bunch of them at once. And this way, if you decide, halfway through designing your cell, you don't have to come. Let's say you have 12 wall sections. You don't have to come up with 12 new wall sections with all the new materials applied. You just basically come in here. We're going to change this to the High-Tech Lab Swap 02. Bam, done. But we're not going to use that one. And then show you guys the Institute theme. Now, when you come into the Institute the first time, when you first get to the Institute, that room that you teleport into has the terminal on it, and it's basically where the Minutemen will transport to if you're going to that quest line. All that that part of the Institute cell uses this. It's supposedly like an older part of the Institute. It has all the older terminals in there and everything. So that's what a material swap is. And I'll put this back. So we're going to make one. Basically, what I want to do is take this pegboard looking weapons rack, and we're going to put this diamond plate effect on it. So I've done that a few times. So we're going to make a new material swap. Now, basically what you need to do, we'll just make a new one. They're a real piece of cake to make. The hard part for me, anyway, is tracking down the vanilla one that you want to change. Let's see. I was taught well how to flip assets. I learned from the best on asset flipping. Let's see. No, Joel, you're awesome. You say the things that I would say myself if I wasn't the one behind the mic doing this. If I was in somebody's chat and they were doing it, I'd be saying the same stuff you're saying. Let's see. So we're gonna make a new one, and I always give my for making your own mod. I always find it. I learned from some of the best people out there. You want to give all your unique assets something that stands out from vanilla, so they're easier to search for, and also so that you don't want to rename them you definitely don't want to rename them something the same as vanilla, because then you'll overwrite everything in the game that's named the same thing. You kind of want to name them as something unique, so that by chance somebody in the mod with another mod comes up with the same name. They'll conflict. Adding your own initials, some reference to the mod, is a good practice or a good way to do it. I always put a 0 in front of mine so I can filter them easier. They'll show up in the top of the list when you filter things. So I'm going to put, let's see. I'll call this weapon rack diamond plate. Because why not? I'm just going to make the new one there. And you'll notice I save a lot because it's the creation kit. It likes to crash. So the original material, that's the other thing. Now, there's no good search function. Basically what we need to do is we need to tell our material swap the original material that we want to look for and what we want to replace it with. And there isn't really a good way to search. I want to say maybe it's in workshop. Can't remember. Set dressing. But what we need to do first is find the actual material for... Oh, see, Colin, you get the night off because saving in the CK doesn't count towards your list. I'm giving you permission to put the blue pen down tonight. Because you didn't have to use it Friday night. You didn't have to use it Friday night. So if you feel left out, that you need to make up for lost time, feel free to use that legal pad. But if you want to take the night off, that's cool too, because you didn't have to use it Friday night. We lucked out. We didn't have any freezes. So it's up to you. If you want to take the night off, that's cool. Carbonite says unique name would be 420 Blaze Prydwen wall 69. That works, if that works for you. You don't want to make them too long, though, because if you have to type them in for some reason, that's, if you have to search, well, that's the other thing, too. You can search with wildcards, but longer names are harder to remember. At least they are for me. But that works. That totally works. Let's see. Sadly, it was only in and out of the stream Friday, so I can't be sure you didn't crash. Are you saying I'm untrustworthy? Come on, you could buy a used car from me. Trust but verify, exactly. So, you can look up the original material by opening up the model data, but it doesn't give you the file path. It just tells you the name of it. So, I think they are in... I'm pretty sure they are in under the set dressing here. Let's see. Workshop. Weapons rack. No, I forgot which one it was already. Come on. See, yep, weapons rack 01. So, just by chance, I remembered that's where they were. So, they're in workshop. And we want the weapon rack 01. So, this is what we're going to replace. This is basically, it's going to tell the game, when you find something with this material, replace it with this one. So now I have to go figure out where the hell I have my replacement stashed. And I want to say... probably DLC 05 maybe? Weapons racks. Oh! I don't have my... oh, rusty metal shelf. Oh, this is... I could do the Prydwen floor one with the rusty metal shelf. Let's go with the musty metal shelf. Yes. Let's go with the rusty metal... the metal rusty shelf for now. Whatever we want to call that. So, we've got that made. So then all we got to do is come back to our reference, extra, then the material swap. And because that reference uses the material we just defined, we can select that, and bam. We now just change that to use that new texture. Words are hard. No, Colin, you missed it. I said that since I have to work tomorrow, there's no coffee, no Red Bull, nothing with caffeine. And that's probably why it's going to be a short stream tonight, because Papa's got to work in the morning. And words are hard. I said earlier, again, you missed it. I said I can't English tonight, so in order to change all these at once, you can go through each one and do this individually, but we're not going to do that. We're going to make use of the wonder that is the batch action window. So what you want to do, you select your references. You select on the US keyboard, it's the dash key right next to the 0, but between the 0 and the plus sign. You hit that. You get the batch action window. All the references you have selected are listed here. And you get all these options. And it's really good for setting, if you're linking workbenches to either a workshop reference, or like I do in my player homes, a common storage container. You can select everything, select the reference, go apply your keywords. You can do it all in one shot. Hey, Adama, just saw that you're heading out, man. Take it easy. Have a good night. I bet you gotta work. That sucks. Well, take it easy, man. Hope to see you again soon. So, all our references selected, what we can do is come down to the material swap. And that activates the material swap pull down just like you see in the reference window. Come in here and select our happy little diamond plate material. And hit the do. You know, that's a real complex button there. Do! And bam. We just change all those at once. Now, this do button, every time I use this, I don't know if you guys ever saw the original, what is it, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes? The apes that were used as workers, the humans would always come up to them and go, they'd give them a mop and say, do! Do was the command. Every time I use the do button, that's what I think of. But that's just me. So we just applied 5 material sets to 5 references at once. And we saved a whole bunch of time. I'm going to have to adjust these here a little bit. I'll go in and fine-tune these placements on these a little bit. So that'll be the weapons racks. Now, the other thing... I wanted to do is try and figure out where nostalgia trip incoming. Yep. I'm going to have a sorting container, and I'm thinking that the sorting container is going to go on a shelf over here. So let's grab that, and we'll do another material swap. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to use for a shelf, so I think for now, temporarily, let's see. Let's find one of those metal shelf pieces. Is this the one? Yeah. Let's just drag one of these in here. I'm probably going to put another shelving unit here, but this will work for now. Yeah, this is placement of this pillar is probably going to change too. I just kind of putting stuff in there. I could put another pillar here though. All right. Well, we'll figure that out. So then, let's do another container. Let's put a foot locker for our sorting container, and then we'll add a material swap to that as well. So, foot lockers are going to be in containers. And here's a foot locker. Now, I'm not going to use this one because this comes with loot in it, and I don't want to use a vanilla container. So I'm going to duplicate this, and this is we're going to name this a sorting container. And then instead of foot locker, it's going to say sort your inventory or something like that. We want to uncheck the respawns box, get rid of all this loot. And then we will, let's see, we duplicated it. Original form. We do not want to create a new form, so we'll hit no and no. No, no. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't. Oh, yes. You want to hit yes. See, I don't know what the hell I'm doing tonight, guys. It's been ages since I've done any of this stuff. Alright, so here's our happy little where our sorting container is going to go. But we don't want to use just that. That actually would be kind of cool. You come in after a long day of looting. You come in, you drop your stuff there, and we'll get it all sorted out. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll give it a reference ID for the script. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off on, well, that'll be good. Actually, let's call this Prydwen. Let's make it unique. Prydwen sorting container. So now that has a unique reference ID attached to it. So when I attach my script to it, that will be the property that will get filled into the script. So let's go and add another material file. I'm gonna have to get some water here soon too, guys. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me take a quick break. Go grab some water without any caffeine in it, and we'll go add another material swap to this, and go add some more odds and ends to the cell and see where we're going. Yeah, words are hard tonight. Colin was right. Words are hard. So maybe some water or something will help. Catch you in a minute. Okay, if I'm hitting the right button, I should be back in the CK. My microphone should be on. And yep, I think we're good. Alright, so let's add another material swap here to this happy little sorting container. Let's see, sorting. That's actually, I'm going to be making several. Probably use several of these foot lockers. One, because I'm going to have a container for, let's see, ammunition, explosives, armor and weapon mods. So, kind of come up with a formula so I could, if I have multiple footlocker material swaps, they're going to be kind of organized. So we'll call it footlocker sorting. And I'm pretty sure that I've done this a bazillion times with this container. I'm pretty sure those are just in props. Let's see, is it footlocker 01? I think it's footlocker 01. The hard part's finding where the hell I have mine stashed. Oh yeah, see, I have all these materials for Brotherhood footlockers. We're going to be definitely using some of those. Where are they up here? I could have sworn they were under... Well, worst comes... All else fails, you jump back into Windows Explorer, go to your materials folder. Just look for them there. So let's just do a search for sort. Sorting footlocker. Where's this hiding? In props. That's where I just was. Alright. Sorting footlocker right there in front of me. Alright, so there's that. Come in here and apply that swap. Bam. We now have our sorting footlocker. I'm not going to do an attach the script tonight. Generally, I'll wait until I get all the containers in place. And then that way I can just fill in the properties when I have everything set up, and then I can just go and test it. One thing if you're going to use a lot of form lists over and over, let me go back to my form list here. After about 15 or 20 mods, I finally got somebody to take me out. Let's say 15 or so mods. Hell, the form lists. I already have all my form lists for like the sorting containers already set up, and for the when I put the refrigerator in here, I'm going to do the fridge that turns the warm drinks cold. I actually made a plugin that has all of my form lists with all those forms already set up. And essentially that's what when I make a new mod, I just use that so that they're all in here. I just have to go and rename these because I didn't do that. I'll use that. It's basically just has the form list with all the stuff already added to it. Because one of the problems with trying to sort some of this stuff is clothing doesn't have any keywords attached to it. Like all the ballistic weapons, you can sort those with keywords. Energy weapons, you can sort with keywords. Armor, you can sort with keywords. Certain things you can sort with keywords. So like for my ammo list, this is it. I only have four records in my sort list for ammunition. You got ammo, fusion cores, gamma cells, and the alien blaster ammo. That's it. Clothing and junk do not have keywords. So, and the nice thing about doing it this way is if I need to add something, I already have this done. And let's say 6 months down the road, I want to add something to it. I just have to open up the form list, and there it is. And I can go and update my base mod and from there. So those are all set. This was always the most time-consuming part of doing the whole sorting script thing. It's getting that stuff all set up. So I got that. I'm probably going to want to put a weapons locker in here someplace, and I don't know if it's going to go there. Let's add that here for now. I'm going to set these all to initially disabled for now. Oh. Yeah, see, that's the problem with these lockers. Sometimes they are a little tricky to select. I don't know what it is about these damn things. There we go. You can use the batch action window. We'll set those to initially disabled. And I'm actually going to move those. Show you guys here. I've got that layer with all the vanilla items on it. We'll make that the active layer. And I'm going to leave that hidden. So I can come over to these and... See, I just selected the damn... Ah! Screwed that up. You know what? Screw it. I just screwed it up. These damn lockers are such a pain. There, let's hide the door. There's something about the collision on these lockers, when you go to select them, they are a real pain in the ass. And you always end up selecting them when you don't want to. Nope. I really don't like these lockers. That's why I never use them. Alright, we're just going to move these out of the cell. Screw it. Yeah, Joe, I don't know what that... Those and these sublights, they're always... Like, maybe it's because this is like the collision... Well, that's not the collision box on them. But wherever they're selected, like if you go over here... Look, I didn't even select it. And I'm trying to click on this pillar, but it's selecting the damn light. And all those lockers are like that. So I'm just going to get rid of them. I think I'm going to put my my gun locker mesh there. So let's go grab that. Let's get back over to static. And we'll go find my gun cabinet. Let's go back to my meshes. Like I said, I'm just going to drop a few things into the cell, and because I have a list of things that I want the mod to have. So usually what I'll do is I'll get all those components in place and then figure out where things are going to go. And sometimes I have to cut stuff. Sometimes stuff doesn't make it in. Like I want to put a bed for dog meat in here, and I don't know where the hell I'm going to find room for one. So let's see. Did I call it gun cabinet or weapon? It is the gun rack. Which one is it? Must be this one. What's the difference here? Come on, window. Where the hell did you go? It's really kind of hard to do these windows with the microphone in front of me. I'm not used to it. Nope, it's going to be the other one. It is going to be gun rack 02 is the one we want. So drag that in. So now my happy little gun rack. This is another thing I did a while back. Oh, I got my window hiding. Sorry guys, I got my window hiding the chat here. I don't want that. No, it's not the fog. I actually have all the fog effects on their own layer too. Because that's another thing. It only took me about a dozen or so mods to learn how to do the layers for that stuff. Did I close where's my layer window? I closed my layer window. So I have all the Prydwen effects are on their own layer, and I have that deactivated. There's only really was one in here. Oh. Come on. Yeah, see there's this one there, and there's actually one that's on a vanilla layer too. One of the fogs, and I don't know why it is, but I'll probably end up moving it at some point. So I put all that stuff. I'm going to put all the lights on their own layer. If I turn the lights layer off, the light markers go away, the effects go away, so it's all good. They don't do it like that in every cell, though. I know I've looked at cells that don't have it. Most of them do. But yeah, it took me a little bit to catch on that was a good thing to do. Now that I've discovered the wonder of layers, I use them to their full advantage. So I think this might be a good place for the weapons rack. So this was basically just something else I did in my early experiments on 3ds Max. Took the vault locker, got rid of the door, melded them together. Oh, this isn't the one, damn it. I knew I used the wrong one. Alright, we're gonna go fix that. Because there was a couple of Fallout 3 mods that had these really cool racks like this, and I wanted to use them. So I basically got the idea from, I think it was the, oh, is it the listening post bunker mod for Fallout 3? Got the idea from that. So these are basically the vault lockers. Gun. Gun rack. Yeah, we're going to change that. So there it is. This is the one I actually wanted to use. No. Yes. Oh. Yeah, I wanted to use this one because what I do is I put a couple of the load screen weapons up on top here. This is going to hold both ballistic and energy, since I don't have room for two different containers. I'll put like a gamma gun and maybe a 10mm pistol up there just to show that it does both. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this floor section here. Just drag this over, cover that up so that it's not not floating, and I don't want it to... I don't know why they have these wells here. You figure it's a ship. They're going to want to use every bit of space they can, but they have these big wells and depressions in their walls, and that's a lot of floor space you use, so I'm going to cover those up. So that might be good there. Could be good there, and maybe move the... I don't know. This is, like I said, this is just kind of fleshing things out and seeing where things might go. So that's going to do it for that corner. Let's start bringing in... I'm actually going to move this. This flag's probably going to go away too. So let's set this to disabled. I'm going to drag this over to the... let's see. Put this on the vanilla items. Yeah, that's good. Alright, we'll just leave it there for now, but it's disabled, so when we go into the game, it won't matter. What time is it getting to be? Probably going to wrap up here in the next 20 minutes or so. I can't do words. Oh, it's, I missed your other post there, Joel. It's not fog, I know, because interior cells at my flagship mod have the same problem. Institute vault lockers, and there's no fog in that cell. I think it's just something about the, it's not the collision because, now let's see, there's this with the damn lights again. It's not the collision because if you look, if you hit F4, there's definitely, the collision is where it should be. It's just when you go to hit the damn thing, select it. Now that's the other thing, guys. If you want to see what the collision on items in your cell are, you just hit the F4 key, and it will highlight all the collision in red. And when it's blue, that's something that's movable static. Like this, I think, is one of the one of those plastic bins. I think these over here are boxes. I think this is like an alarm clock or a box of Dandy Boys, or what is it? Fancy like the snack cakes or the apples or something. Let's see what the hell that is. So anything... Oh, it's cram. Alright, so anything that's movable you can pick up. It's going to have the blue on it. Anything else that's red is going to be basically a static. So let's get rid of these damn lockers here. Because I think I want to put my sink in here. I am... Ah, damn it. Oh. Yeah. So you got to get rid of the wall. And I can't even select them all. There we go. So I think for now, I'm going to move these out of the way here. I might use these. Or I might use my own lockers. I'm not really sure yet. Selecting a locker between the others. Yeah, it's like I have the other one selected, and then I go to select the other one, and nope. It just nopes on me. So we'll leave those there for now. Turn all this stuff back on, because I think I want to put my... kitchen area over here. So what I've got, basically want to put a countertop, a sink, a stove, and a fridge. And I haven't decided if I want an actual stove, but I definitely want the fridge. So I think what we need to do is another duplication here. Let's oh, that's perfect. I don't have to make another floor. So cover that up, and let's drop a save. Now I've got Take the bed pad and fit locker under it. You have a Navy rack. I have those, you speak the Navy racks there, TC. I actually have one of those cots I was thinking of using, because to me that looks more something that would be on a ship. You know, it's definitely in the asset's actually a military cot. In fact, where are we here? I mean, they have them in the game, but I added one with a blanket and a pillow. I've used them several times here. What am I looking for? Did I name it cot or did I name it bed? Bed. No, that's a bunk bed. That's not the one. I had it here earlier. Now I don't know where the hell. I don't remember what I call it. See, that's the thing. I don't remember what I call some of this stuff. And even if I do, Windows doesn't freaking find it. Is it furniture? Well, you guys have seen a cot before. We'll just search for a cot in here. I have one that I made that I put, yeah, one of these guys. The military cot. Because I have one that I have, look at how nice and thin that pillow, or that mattress is. That's good sleeping right there. But I have one I put a blanket and a pillow on it. I was thinking of using those, but there aren't any cots on the Prydwen. They're all these beds. These nasty stained mattress beds. So I'm probably going to use a vault bed. This bed's not going to stay. I'm probably going to use a vault bed with a blanket on it, and maybe use this material swap on it, because the vault beds are just way too clean and shiny for my liking. But I'm thinking the bed's going to stay there, just not going to be now a locker under it. I probably am going to put a foot locker under it. There's going to be a foot locker and probably a duffel bag. But I want to use gotta have a locker, because when I get the sorting script, I want to have a container for the armor and for the clothing. And I'm thinking I'm going to use my vault lockers that I have. That I actually have the texture that says, you know, they're labeled armor and clothing. I'm probably going to use those here. I actually have some of these that are labeled like that too. But these don't scream Brotherhood of Steel to me. They just don't. So, what might be actually kind of cool, come up with a new texture with the Brotherhood logo on the locker. That might be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that. But lockers are going to go here next to the bed regardless. And I think I want to put a sink. Let's try putting a container, or not a container, like a box under. Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. That's one option. I could put like the storage. I actually put dressers. I put dressers under there for that kind of thing, so it's almost like you have a little storage chest under the bed. I've done that a couple times. But for the sorting container, I need an actual locker. It's just going to be too hard to get under the, you know. I have my ways, man. I'm set in my ways. If I'm going to sort the stuff, it's got to be in a locker. The Sentinel quarters are more spacious than the Elders. Well, these certainly are. These certainly are. Yeah, TC, send a pic. Send it to me on the Nexus. Send me a message on the Nexus with it. Because if I don't use it for this one, I'll definitely use it some other time. I'm always looking for references like that. That would be cool. I would definitely like to check that out. What I think I'm going to do is I have another set of these things over here, these countertops. I want to see if they're going to fit in here. But I have one, actually, let's before I bring that asset in, what we can do, since they're the same size, I have one of these. This is the, let's see, is it the cabinet? This is another thing I did in, yeah, this is another thing I did in 3ds Max. I took one of the player home, the player ruin kitchen cabinets that has 4. I don't know, for the life of me, I don't know why they didn't come up with one that was 2. Because these are a really cool asset to use for different things. But they only come in 4. They, you know, like set 4 drawers here. They're these big ass things. So I basically took one, chopped it down to about half the size, and made a new texture for it. Joel says, I've been working on a Fallout 76 style stash trunk mod that was compatible with the major FO4 DLC while requiring none of them. Papyrus Light. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That I know Creative Clutter has a pretty cool script that does that, and it only installs the DLC assets if it detects the DLC. And that kind of shit's way above my pay grade. So your Fallout 76 stash, are you gonna be limited to how much you can put into it? Because it's not immersive. It's not true Fallout 76 unless you can only put, what is it? I know they upped the stash limit. Whatever the stash limit is, you've got to match it. So yeah, those will fit there perfectly. So I have one of these with a hole cut into it that I'm going to put my sink into. But I'm not sure. I have one on the left side, one on the right side. I'm not sure which side it's going to go on. Joel says it's all working. I'm almost done putting the Vault Tech stash trunks in Nuke World DLC, but I could never get the active workbench attachment logic to pan out. Oh, okay, so you're going to have it look for the workbench. That's cool. But yeah, you should limit it. You can only put, like, what is it, 600 pounds in it, and then it's full. Because that would be immersive. So I'm going to leave this here for now. I haven't decided which side I'm going to put the sink on. I don't want to bring... Say, developed another papyrus library. That's my thing that supports the stash limit by making an actual container. Cool. A container and an NPC in a secret cell. See, I've done that with my commissary terminals, because that's how they... I wanted something like the commissary terminals in the Lonesome Road DLC for New Vegas. So I went and looked at how they did it, and that's all that those are, is they basically have an NPC in a cell that acts as a vendor, linked to a vendor chest, and there's a script, there's a script event that calls the barter menu when it's activated. So basically you attach the script to, static object, and so that's how they did it. So yeah, putting the NPC in the secret cell, that's I like that trick. I like using that trick for different things. Same library also enables a modder to select a settlement on a menu, set NPCs, but will return the result script calling without actually moving the NPC. Very, very cool. Let me just go. TC just posted the link. That's because I gave you the permissions to do that. Ah, okay. I got you, TC. I see that now. Ah. That is some close living quarters there. See, something like that they could have used in the actual Prydwen cell. This should show up on the stream. Okay, that's as big as it goes. Yeah, just so you guys can see what the link TC sent me. Yep. That's pretty cool. Ugh. Yeah, the stinky guy. You don't want the stinky guy below you. Alright. So I'm just going to drop in some assets here and just kind of gauge things. So I got to have a stove and a fridge. So I'm thinking maybe the fridge could go over here. And the stove... Well, let's do that. Let's find a stove. Eventually this will be made into an actual working cooking station. That's for 6 people? Yeah. Oh boy. Problem... Oh, actually, let's... Problem with putting a stove over here. I might not be able to. Might not be able to put a stove there because... Let's drag a workbench in here real quick. Let's find a cooking station. You guys are placing workbenches into a cell. One thing you gotta be aware of in the test is where the damn camera is for the animation. Because it's really easy to cram a workstation into a corner and find out you can't use it because there's no room for the that goofy camera to move around. Cat's Pajamas, I enjoy your mods, man. Well, thank you. Thanks for stopping in and sitting in on the stream. Appreciate that. Just kind of playing around with what's probably going to be my next mod if I ever decide I'm going to finish it. We're overhauling the Prydwen quarters on the Prydwen that you get when you finish the Blind Betrayal quest. So let's grab this stove in here. So you hit the markers. Now, when you're placing, yeah, I can tell you right now, we're not going to be able to put that stove there. The markers, see this camera here? That's where the camera, when you're in the animation and the screen turns all blurry and you're doing your thing in your workbench, this is the camera position. If I was to put a cooking station right here, that camera is going to be outside the cell. So I want that there. You see how the camera is clipping through the wall? Cooking station is not going to work there. I can bring it in a little bit. It's going to be right there, and that's too close. Because it's going to be, this bulkhead's going to be right in the way. No worries, man. Joel, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff that I like seeing made for this game, to be honest. Because, I mean, I'm a total noob when it comes to this. I'll never get to script and stuff like that. And the fact that you're making it a resource is totally awesome. And, no, by all means, man. That's cool. So yep. You don't want to have this camera too close because chances are your animation's not going to work. You'll come up to the workbench and nothing will happen. That's going to be so. And I had to test these because, let's see, the chem station. Let's hide this one here. The chem station one is over, so we're good there. Let's see, this is the, whoops. Which one of these? Okay, this camera's for the weapons workbench, this camera's for the armor workbench, and this would be the camera for the power armor station. And that one's fine. Now, when we'll go into the cell here in a little bit because I'm probably going to wrap things up here shortly, guys. When we go into the cell, you'll notice that the animation to get into the power armor, it's basically like right over your. It's like it gets really close. It works, but I may end up having to push this wall back, but I don't want to push it back too far because we're almost into the shower or the bathroom area where the shower is going to be. So, as long as it works, I'm pretty content with having that. So, at least now I know that the stove cannot go here. That's just too damn close. It may work, but considering that the bulkhead's right there, that's not going to happen. So, that's because I've actually used a couple of mods, player home mods, and there was one of them where the chem station didn't work, and I couldn't figure out why. And looked at it in the CK, and the camera, the chem station was right up against the wall, and the camera was outside the cell bounds. So somebody didn't test. So I think I'm going to end up making a cooking station that looks like this stove here. I thought about using my little camping grill that I have, but, you know, you're a paladin. You're a paladin in the Brotherhood of Steel. You should have a frickin' stove in your room. So I'll probably, I don't know if it's going to be this one, but that'll probably go there. And then the sink will go in here. Let's see, I'm working, Cat's Pajamas says, I'm working the art for a mod that I can hopefully make. It's making paintings with the retro greetings from postcard style. Now that is cool. That is cool. I'm actually a big fan of vintage postcards that say the greetings from. I've done that for, I had a couple mods, or videos rather, I did that for old settlements that I don't have anymore, but did like, you know, greetings from Hangman's Alley. I actually did one for my Good Neighbor mod. And I've done them for, I did one for New Vegas and for DC, you know, for the old school lore feel, but that's cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that old art style. So, TC says he said bulkhead. That's too cool for someone who can't speak words. I can say bulkhead, but I can't say much else. I can say fridge. We need to add a fridge here. So let's search for a fridge. We can drop it in here as a dummy. See, I can't spell either. I'm gonna put this. Let's do this pre-war refrigerator. Yep, we're gonna use this fridge. And I have a material swap for that. Actually, maybe we'll add... Let's add that right now, because I know I'm going to use that one. Let's duplicate this. We'll rename it. Actually, let's put a refrigerator. Uncheck the respawn. Now, the cell has an encounter zone set so that it won't respawn, But it's just a habit I get into. If I'm making a new container and I don't want it to respawn, I always uncheck that. It's just a habit I've gotten into. I don't want a player home where containers respawn. Number one, it's a lot of loot. But number two, if you put things into in a container and it respawns while you're out of the cell, you lose your shit. And I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that. I don't want that to happen to anybody using my mods. So even though I know that the encounter zone, the cell will not reset, I just do it because you just never know. At least if somebody says, oh yeah, the container respawned and I lost my stuff, I know for a fact that container was unchecked to respawn. So just a habit. So we're going to make this. We don't want to create a new form. Yes, we want to do that. And I think this fridge will fit. No, oh yeah, that'll fit perfectly right there. Although, see, got this damn part of the back wall there that's going to stick through. So all this stuff's going to have to come out a little bit further than I wanted. Let's see. At one point, fading himself to almost thank me. That's my very first mod that I ever put out. Fading Signal was like one of the first. I think he was like the first or second endorsement. And he was like one of the first comments and says, "This looks great. I love your work." And I'm like, "This is the first thing I ever put out." And I had used all his mods at that point. And I was like, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I bow before Fading Signal. His mods are fantastic. Now this sticks out a lot longer, a lot more than I want. So I may end up scaling that down a little bit. I'm not really sure. No, don't worry about it, Joel. No, if you're talking about the self promotion, I mean people coming in and want to support, promote their channel, their stream. Promote your mods, that's fine. That's kind of why we're here. Mods are fine. Yeah, rules, what rules? No, there's just this thing I see on Twitch a lot where people come into somebody else's stream and it's like, oh, can you give a shout out to my stream? And it's like, well, what about the person streaming? It's just, I don't, if you're a stream, you're doing something, you're doing your thing, and you're trying to entertain people, and somebody comes in and wants to, oh, check out my stream. Well, that's like basically coming into somebody's party. You've been invited to someone else's party, and you say, hey guys, let's go over to my house. Let's go have a party at my house instead. That's the only reason that. If you want to promote your mods, go ahead, man. I have no problem with that. You certainly know what you're doing, so. Red, the last link is cool. All right, let me, Oh. This looks cool. I should go... That reminds me, I should give you guys a quick look at my, well, I'm gonna have to check that out later. All right. Same library we used to create working fridges mod. I got good enough in mod interactive that made the mod cool all sorts of beverages. That's cool. See, I've only got mine to do the stuff from the base game and the DLC. Although, if the modded items, no, actually no, it won't, because see, basically what mine does is a form list, and it checks against the forms in the container, and it basically substitutes. Everything is equalized on the form list. So I have I can show you here real quick. Sorry, we're gonna get into to scripting stuff here if I can find where the hell form lists are. Although you probably know what I'm gonna say already. I think Joel's already gonna know where I go with this. So I have my form list for the cold drinks. I have my form list for the warm drinks and everything. All the indexes all match up. So the Nuka-Cola, basically it just goes through the index and swaps out a warm for a cold. That's it. That's all it does. And I was amazed I was able to get that to work. So what the hell was I going to say? So this fridge may have to go. I don't like how this sticks out here. Whoops. I'm not a fan of how that sticks out of there at all. I may scale that down. I may change it. I'm not really sure. But let's do another material swap while we're at it. And I think we'll get ready to wrap things up here. because I did want to go show this to you guys in game, see where we are, and I wanted to show you that that vault mod that speaking of vaults, that little vault mod that I was playing around with over the weekend. Let's see. So this is, where the hell is this? I think this might be in buildings. Let's see. So let's go back to material swaps if I can find those. Not used to working in the CK with a microphone in front of me. Let's see. I know I'm going to use this fridge. I just don't know where the hell it's going to go yet. We'll just call this gray fridge. Joel says, my scripts will have hot, cold recipe logic so anyone can have a pre-conversation, post-conversation collective forms that have in your program. That's cool. So I actually figured out how to do the formless comparison thing. The way I learned how to do, basically when you do it like a display case, like how I do my robot display shelf. You put the robot model into the container, and it activates a corresponding form. I got that from an old Dark Fox 127 video, and that's basically where I learned my little bit of scripting I do. So I just kind of applied that same, the same logic to comparing the formless to doing the refrigerator, and I was amazed when it actually worked. So I think we want, I guess, interiors. I may have to go search for this because I don't remember what the hell this is called. Rather than stumble over my words let's go do that. Now, another thing that's helpful if you're doing mods, you're using a lot of assets, especially if you don't know the names of them. What I've done is I've gone through all of the Fallout 4 and DLC assets and extracted them all from the archive. So I have a full set over here, a completely different folder. You do not want these in your game folder. You want these, I actually have these on a separate drive. These are all the assets from Fallout 4 and all the DLC. So if I need to find something, if I need to grab a texture that I want to rework, everything is in here. So let's go to, let's search for fridge. Refrigerator broken. This is the one we're looking for. And if I don't know, if I'm trying to do a material swap, or I'm trying to find an asset and I don't know where in the folder structure it is, my copies of my extractions for all these assets, they're all in the same folder format as the game, so it makes it a lot easier for me to find shit. So we are looking in set dressing building for that. So we can go back to here. And let me close this other window because I got chat covered up again. Let's see. Set dressing. Building. I'd hate to have to be the person at Bethesda keeps all this shit straight between games. Okay, we want refrigerator broken, so that's that one. And mine is, I do not remember where that is. Is it in set dressing building, maybe? If I'm coming up with a new material, I try and put it in the same structure as the vanilla, so I know where the hell I'm looking. And it looks like I did that here. So let's go with, I have two of them. Let's go with the first one. That'll work. I think the only difference between the two of them is the specular map. I think one of them might have a little bit more gloss metalness to it. So that'll be good for that one. It's gray, it's drab, it kind of fits in with the rest of the cell. I don't want to put a big shiny Nuka-Cola fridge in there. So, let's see, it's going on 9. I think I'm going to wrap up this part of the stream, guys. I'm getting ready to wrap up here. It's getting close to my bedtime. But let's do a couple things here first. Let's we're gonna close this cell up. Let me tell you what here. Where's my mod manager? I'm gonna show you guys a couple things, and then we're gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna turn my mini vault mod on. Get that going. We'll go into the game. Actually, that's pretty much all we're gonna do here tonight. I'm gonna close this one up, and then show you guys that the vault mod that I got tinkering around with. But yeah, what you see here is probably not going to last. This is just, I'm just into the stage where I'm kind of fleshing things out and figuring out what the hell's going to go where. So let's get rid of this one. Open up the vault. So this is that vault project that I abandoned I started it last year and abandoned it. Only picked it up a few days ago. Take a look at that in the CK, then we'll go look at both of these cells in game, and then I think that's going to be it for me tonight, because the words are getting harder to do. Let's see, Joel says, quite a few reported my recipe container library made excellent addition to their player home mods, and that's why I release libraries and standalone resources. I'm going to have to check your stuff out, Joel. I know I looked at it a while back, and I'm glad you reminded me, because honestly, I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that you had that stuff out there. So, another reason why I don't mind you promoting your mods. I'm going to go check that stuff out. I'm trying to get away from having a whole bunch of scripts in my stuff, just because I'm trying to go for simplicity, but I can't live without my scrapping or my trash compactor or my my sorting container. Alright, so this is the mini vault, although it really isn't that mini. The vault itself, it's really more of a bunker, it's just using vault pieces. The vault itself isn't that big, and I have actually chopped one of the rooms off. I made a couple changes since I started it. But the big change is adding this this cave section here, because this is essentially going to be the load door from the exterior cell. I haven't decided if it's going to be an elevator or if it's just going to be a door in a building or a bunker. I don't know what it's going to be. This is just a placeholder. But you come in through this part of the cave, down this passageway, and you're into this this big old section of an interior cave, and I'm going to put some power armor stations on the exterior here. So this is just the shell. That's all going to be visible. And then this is the vault here, or bunker. It's using vault pieces. Sewer entrance is very Fallout 3. Yep, and that's exactly what I was going for, Colin. This is actually one of the subway tunnels, because there are no cool sewer parts like that in this game. All the sewers are friggin' bricks. So this is one of the subway tunnels. I just flipped it on its end and scaled it down. I did the same thing with my Scav safe house bunker. Has the same exact kind of entrance. That's exactly what I wanted to look like, was one of the Fallout 3 Fallout 3 sewers. Good catch there, man. But I love those sewer assets in 3 in New Vegas, and there's just nothing like it. So there's a lot of cool assets in this game that you can repurpose and reuse and retexture. There's just a lot of the things, like the vault pieces. I'll show you guys in game. I do not like the vanilla vault textures at all. They're just, I've said it before, they look like baby's first vault. It's like a play school vault. Not a fan. So this has a lot of material swaps on it. Again, I'm using a lot of the Prydwen material swaps, because those to me are the closest to the old school vault feel. So this has a lot of material swaps. All the vault pieces, I've done my own material swaps to. Basically just replacing certain panels on them to kind of make them more dingy and run down. Replaced all the colorful, like the pastel colors of the vanilla ones. Replaced them with this beat up dingy gray, because that's what the old ones look like. So all of these vault sections I came up with a few different combinations, have my own, I just call it vault damage theme. Just replaces some of the vanilla textures, that's all. So yeah, before I can't material swaps must be tiring to have that many. Not really. Cat's Pajamas, before you were here, before you got into the stream, I showed how you can select the whole room and change, like you can have a dozen assets selected and change the material swaps all at once using the batch action window. So let's say I wanted to change, I'm not going to do it, but let's say I want to change, if I can select them here. What's in my way? Do I have no, I don't have any effects in here yet, so I'm just getting tired. You can select all these sections here. So let's say I want to change these 3 all at once. You hit your dash key, opens up the batch action window, come down to set material swap, and you can any material swap can be applied to those assets. You can go and select here, you hit do, and it'll change them all at once. So I found that it's really nice if you get a room all set up and then you decide, you know, I don't want that material, like a let's say you just have like a house, one of the house kits comes with some of the wallpaper. I think there's like blue, there's red. Say you want to change from blue to red. You don't have to go to each one individually. You just do them all at once. So that's going to be that. Let's go and take a look at those two cells, and then I think we'll wrap things up because, yep, I'm fading here. Material swaps are actually pretty, Joel says, material swaps are actually pretty useful. One record in the editor and many different presentations, and yep, batch action is where it's at. I wish I had learned about batch action and material swaps earlier on, because I got into the habit like, oh, I want to have a trunk with this texture. All right, well, here's a new NIF with new material file. Oh, I want to use the same NIF with a different texture. Well, let's make a new, you know, it was just, you basically have 5 different meshes for this, 5 different trunk textures with 5 different trunk meshes. But this way, yep, you have one asset, and if it's a vanilla asset, then that's even better. You don't have to worry about packing it, and you don't have, you know, you're not replicating assets. Let's see. Adrian says, do you have a playlist of music playing in the background? Loving the vault so far. This is, let me open up VLC. This is a bunch of, and I mentioned them in the last DK stream I did. It's a selection of old rockabilly compilations. It's called the Desperate Rock and Roll series. And I don't even remember where I got these from. If you go to... Oh, I remember, I think, where I got them from. There's a channel on YouTube called Sunnyboy66. Has a whole bunch of really awesome old-school rockabilly garage records. And they're, you know, apparently nobody has a problem with the copyright on these things. They're up there. They've been up there for forever. So that's what all that stuff is from. And it's just a playlist. I dropped those in a playlist in VLC. I figure that kind of stuff's fitting for a Fallout stream. So, let's see. So let's go in. And no problem, Adrian. That's no problem at all. Let's jump into the game here. Get the game started. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut off the music. Get the game on. Switch this. I just got to figure out what button I got to press here. I'm gonna have to we'll have to pause VLC. Yeah, Overhaul Radio. They're on my I subscribe to Overhaul. I listen to them quite a bit when I'm working on this stuff. Right, if I could, I would like with the likes 1 billion times. Thank you. It was the best. I know you burn out. Doesn't burn out 1 billion. Thanks. I'm burning out now, my friend. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick walkthrough of these, and I think we're gonna have to call it quits because it's I didn't want to stream much past 9, and it's quickly approaching. I got to get ready for bed, so that alarm goes off pretty damn early in the morning. So let's go check out the Prydwen cell first, and if I can remember what that cell is from before. Hall 03. Nope. Not Prydwen Hill, Prydwen Hall. I go with the microphone in front of the keyboard again. Let's see. Alright, so here we are. This is what we've just been working on. There's our sorting container with no script yet. But there's the... Oh, this is what I'm looking for. There's that little... divider, which I think it kind of breaks up the room. It says that makes it like a little entrance hallway. You can come in, drop your stuff off. Oh, you know what? This was stupid for me to bring the static object in because I gotta make it a container. Oh, it's just a placeholder. That's fine. So this is gonna have to be turned into a container at some point. There's our chemistry station, and as you can see, these are actually linked to the Boston Airport workshop. So you can see what I said about the camera. When you use that, you got to have room for the camera animation, and I don't have that. But if I was right here, I wouldn't have been able to use that cooking station. So There's our fridge with the that. The workbenches, chem station. You can't use this workshop yet. Yep, well aware of that game. So I don't have any weapons on me now. We can test the weapons racks. Use my batch file that I have. I have a batch file with just a bunch of random objects that I can use for testing. Because when I... Oh. Okay, so when I spawn into a cell, COC in from the main menu, you basically start off at a character with everything at level 1. You guys got game audio? I just want to make sure that you guys can hear the game audio, the music, and everything. So you have basically nothing in your inventory except for your vault suit. So I have a batch file. I just grabbed a bunch of forum IDs off the CK wiki, or the Fallout 4 wiki, put them into a forum list, run the batch command, and it equips me with some stuff so we can come over here. Game audio's on. Thanks, TC. Thanks, Joel. Alright. So we can drop those in there. And, yep, those work. I don't have any pistols on me. So it's a good way to do quick tests. COC, you make some changes, you COC when to sell. Because the thing with the Prydwen cell, I'll tell you guys right now, any vanilla cell, really, if you're going to make changes to it, there's going to be a lot of persistent objects, which means they'll get baked, their position will get baked into your save. So if you already been into the cell, you've already got the Prydwen quarters, and you decide, oh, there's this cool new Prydwen mod on the Nexus, I'm going to go use that. You're going to find all the vanilla stuff is probably still going to be here, and it's going to be moved around. Because they get persistent items will get baked into your save. So that's why if you're testing a mod, it's always good to use either a save where you've never been in that cell, or just COC in from the menu like I just did, because then you have no way of having a persistent object that's gonna screw up your testing. There's our happy little mannequins, which I don't think they're gonna stay there, to be honest. So we'll get into the power armor. I just added this here for the testing. You can see where the camera is. It's like right up on my shoulder. It works. It just works. But and I don't know that I'm going to be able to do anything about that. I think it's... Excuse me. It's just going to have to stay that way. Complicated... Joel says more complicated libraries actually have test cells. That I COC. And I've done that in the past. Not on anything I've released, but I have just my own... When I was learning to do this goofy shit, I did have a couple of test cells. And I actually if I'm making skulls for things, I'll have a test cell specifically for that, so that I don't have to mess around in my cell. I can go and play around with all that stuff in their own cell, and I don't have it. Like if I forget to delete a skull reference that I've used, I don't want that stuff floating around the cell, you know, that the players are using. There's no need for it. Let's see. He says persistent objects and busted saves. Reference properties on scripts to point important things in your mod space. If they're wrong, then replace the reference in the world. Okay, I never got into that. I just tried to avoid messing with them. And very rarely do I this is going to be the first... Well, I take that back. This is only the second cell where or second mod, I think, where I've made changes to vanilla cells. The only other one is going to be my Fizz Top Grill mod. I'm very, very wary of messing around too much in vanilla cells. So this is all new to me. Well, not really, but... So we'll test the crafting. Yep, so that camera works. That's out plenty far, so we're good there. It's a programming technique, basically a collection of strings and reference that collection, changing important things that always take effect. Cool. So yep. Oh, let's go check out the bathroom area here. I'll show that to you guys. So, yep, shower will probably be there. The head will probably go there. I don't like that this I guess you call this rib is right in the middle of that, because that would be awesome if that was gone. I could take a look at getting rid of that in 3ds Max, but then I'm worried about having to make new collision for it. So I don't want to. I really don't want this to become a... This is supposed to be just a simple mod for me to get something you know, just to get back into kind of doing. I've been out of it for a few months, so I don't want to get into making new assets if I don't have to. So this is, you know, a little bit more spacious than the vanilla Prydwen quarters, but I don't want to go overboard with it. I kind of want to keep it, you know, with the vanilla flavor, but I want it to be something a little more, I don't know, more my style. Weapon placement is off. Well, yeah, that's what happens with the short weapons. That's just the way that they have the these containers set up. Basically, all they do is they spawn a reference of the weapon you put in. So the short and you can't put the short laser rifles on the short racks because, you know, it just works. They have to go on the long racks, and they never fit here. There's one of the other vanilla weapons. I think it's like the vanilla, the short laser. Well, that's a short laser rifle. The short laser muskets, and there's another one. They just spawn off center. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way they made it because it just works. Alright, so let's head over into the mini vault. We'll give you guys a quick tour of that, what's going on there so far. And then it's time for me to go to bed. If I can remember the name of my own damn cell. Whoops, I have the COC. RTV, whoops. I think this is it. The other thing I'm probably going to do is get rid of the Brotherhood music when you get in there. I don't like having music in my player homes, so I'm probably going to remove that. All right, so let's go back outside first. We'll start from the beginning. So here's the cave. I'm still tweaking the lighting. This is just a basic lighting template. It's not by any means going to be the propaganda poster for the BL. Oh, there's going to be plenty of propaganda posters, Carbon Knight. Don't worry. It's one of the reasons I wanted to make it. If you see my Listening Post Zulu mod, all the Brotherhood propaganda posters I did for that are going to be there. So you come in from whatever the load door is going to be here. This is just a placeholder. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Come down this way. This is probably going to be a lot darker than it is. And I don't want the power armor stations to be cluttering up the interior, so we're probably going to have a few here. Some sort of generator device that you may have to repair to restore power to the home. And then you'll come up the catwalk here. And, oh yeah, there's no music in this song. I'm like, what happened to the music? So you'll just have to listen to me try and do words. Probably some sort of control panel here that'll unlock the door, because there is going to be a lock on this. I haven't figured out what that's all going to be yet. I don't know what this is going to be. I just thought it would be cool to have one of these. And like I said, I did all the material swaps on it. And the doors will auto-open and close, but the only thing I have right now is a script where they close after, I think it's 8 seconds. So this branches off to go down to the first level. Yep, so that door just closed. This is going to be a kitchen and dining area in here. And then you have this nice little view of the cave. And there's some glowing fungus I put down there that I'm probably going to move so you can see it a little bit better. But you'll have a little view of the outside. This will be the kitchen and dining area. And then you come down this set of stairs here. This will be the medical bay with, this will be an auto dock that you restore. You guys have seen, I've used this on a couple of my mods before. It'll remove the rads, restore your health, cure addictions. Be a chem station, some other things in here. This will be probably shower, bathroom area back here. Probably be like a surgery chair and a barber chair in here and just some other little odds and ends. And this here is going to be the workroom. We'll have all probably the workbenches, armor, weapons, whatever else we got to put in here. The weapons storage, just be like an armory. There'll be some weapons displays, probably some armor displays. I'm thinking maybe like a back wall of nothing but armor display racks, some weapon displays. And then we come down another flight of stairs. This will be the living quarters down here. And this will be one bedroom. This is just all temporary lighting. This is, like I said, this is just piecing this together. Not really sure what's going to happen yet. And this will be another bedroom over here. So one of these will be a master bedroom. One of these will be like, I don't know, like a guest quarters. Maybe you can, if you're into the kind of thing where you can command your companions to sleep in a quarter, you'll be able to do that, I guess, if that's your thing. And this will be like a little lounge, living room area. There'll be some, couch, radio. Probably have a radio system all through the place like I've done before. You can select which station you want to listen to. And then there's some more glowing fungus down there. Another view of the cave. This was actually a bedroom. I did have 3 bedrooms. The mother-in-law room, yeah. Well, that's outside. That's outside underneath. I can show you where the mother-in-law room is. This was just... Oh, got a little bit of a door alignment problem there I got to fix. All right. Yeah, I shifted this room around completely. This was just another small bedroom. And there was another door here that led into a room that was a little bit bigger than this. And I just didn't need it. This really needed to be... This is a lot more manageable. It's spread out, but there's not that many rooms this way. So, yep, that's it. That's going to do it for that little tour. Where's the pet Deathclaw? Mr. Cuddlesworth? I haven't figured that out yet. But the mother-in-law room, TC, is going to be like right back here. See, this is I actually have a collision plane here. I was talking to you guys about collision planes before. I have a collision plane here because I don't want anybody to get back here and get stuck. And there's really no reason to go back there because there's just nothing there. Although there is, I noticed earlier, back over here, there's a little bit of the void. You can see. Yep, I gotta go patch that up. But yep, that's the mother-in-law space there. I may have some mole rats pop out of here when you come in. I haven't decided yet. It might be a fun little thing to have some mole rats pop out of here that you got to kill before you can take the place over. I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I've done. The cave is what I was working on over the weekend. I had part of it started, and that's when I abandoned it. But Dane, that's too good for the mother-in-law. Well, mother-in-laws have their, there's something to be said about mother-in-laws. You can't. Oh, I think the doors. You can't always give them the worst quarters. Yeah, that door's sticking out there when it's open. That's going to have to get adjusted. This is why we test. That's the kind of things you got to look for. Little shit like that. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I am quickly approaching the bedtime. And yeah, that's it. Sorry we didn't get much more done in the mod, but I really didn't plan on getting a lot done tonight. Just kind of wanted to hang out and show you guys what was going on. Not my mother, my ex-mother-in-law. Yeah, my ex almost mother-in-law to be. She was the exception. I actually got along with her. Got along with her really well. Better than her daughter. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I totally didn't expect to be streaming tonight, so it was kind of an impromptu thing. And wow, 19 you guys here? I didn't even look to see how many people are. I thought we only had like 6 here. I really thought there was like 6 people here because I only really started an hour before, scheduled the stream an hour before I started. I can't believe there's that many of you guys here. No worries, TC. No, it was all for the good. Let's put it that way. Colin says we're up to 20 at some point. Yeah, I wow. All right. People have nothing better to do than watch some geek on the internet play around in a creation kit. But no, this was fun, guys. This was a blast, and it's always good to hang out with you guys and talk about mods and stuff. And it just seems weird with no music going on here. I don't think I have anything I could put. Do I have? No, I don't. Just entertaining. Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Legit good stream. Well, thanks, Joel. Thanks. I appreciate you stopping in, man. It's always good to have you here. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. For the rest of the week, I should have the next installment of the Let's Play should be going live in the morning. If YouTube is doing its thing the way it should and doesn't misbehave, that should be up. Friday night, undecided. That's the other reason I kind of wanted to stream today. I'm undecided if there's going to be a stream Friday night. I want there to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to or not. If I do, I may take a break from Fallout 4 and stream some New Vegas because I've been really wanting to play New Vegas. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. 50-50 chance Friday there being a stream. So if there is, this is just a free bonus. That's all. But Colin says, red streams are always super freaking chill. That's just because I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm making this stuff up as I go along. But thanks. Yeah, I try. You know, I just want these things to be cool and chill. Just a place to hang out, talk about games and stuff. You know, no drama. We'll leave that for the clickbaiters and all that stuff. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in at such short notice and watching basically nothing. But I'm glad you guys enjoy it. We'll definitely do more of this kind of stuff. And beats working. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Joe Ross. Well, thanks, man. Yeah. I've been known to watch a stream or two at work. That's I guess what cell phones and headphones are for, right? But yep. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday night, but if not, this will be hopefully a small consolation. And you know, maybe I can, if I don't stream Friday night, maybe I can stream during the weekend. We'll see how that goes. But have a great rest of your week, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Always appreciate the support. We'll catch you next time.